Hello everybody, my name is Graham Elwood. You are watching The Political Vigilante. So I'm sure many of you saw what Donny Deutsch said, millionaire said on Bill Maher, that Hollywood millionaire party that they have where they think they're so woke and so much better than the Republicans, but they're just a bunch of elitist assholes. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's what he said. I want to show you what this clown said. Let me do this.
Might be seen as a way to help more Americans.
I'll tell you one thing, though. You tell 160 million Americans that they can't choose their private insurance, you're going to lose an election.
Right.
And these people are smoking crack. Forget about not even being able to pay for $34 trillion. My grandfather was a cop, okay, and my mother was a school teacher, and they worked really.
First of all, Donny Deutsch, that's a Republican talking point, or that's a Joe Biden talking point, which is essentially a Republican. Bernie Sanders' plan is going to cost $34 trillion. They always forget rich people that profit from a for-profit health care always seem to forget the current system we have now in America cost $50 trillion. So Bernie's plan is already cheaper. They always seem to forget that. Whoops, where are we going?
To put me in a position where I can buy the kind of insurance I want. And if I can't, or the people on this panel, I can't buy it for my children, we are going backwards. We're fucking Denmark, okay?
But remember, the problem wasn't that you couldn't buy insurance, it's that you could buy insurance and still end up broke when you needed it at the end. I mean, the insurance had too many loopholes, so you get the government in to help that. And then we might be seen as a way to help more Americans.
I'll tell you one thing, though. You tell 160 million Americans that they can't choose their private insurance, you're going to lose an election.
Right.
This is the healthcare. This is a healthcare lobby talking point. We've seen this time and time again on the debates, on the corporate media. No one is saying Medicare for all is not going to kick you, force you. That's the angle they're trying to tell you, because what he's talking about, and again, this guy is worth over $200 million. I'm going to show you where he got his money in a little bit. That's the thing they keep lying to you about. And here's how they do it. Oh, he's the hipster on MSNBC who talks about how bad Trump is, and he's on this panel. Bill Maher, these are the most out-of-touch Hollywood liberal rich assholes that I've ever seen in my life. What are you talking about? I should be able to afford to buy my kids whatever health insurance I want. Great. Buy it then. What about all the people, Donny, that can't afford any insurance? This is he's so put unbelievable. How dare you? Do you know that there's people that don't have insurance? Are you even aware of that? Of course you're not. Because you do your bullshit show on MSNBC, you fly out to LA to do this bullshit show, and you spew these talking points that are literally written by health insurance companies. Oh, and I'm sure he thinks he's so woke. He thinks he's so what? Oh, wow. This is just such ridiculous, this nonsense. I'm so sick of these neoliberals. All they care about, Roe v. Wade, LGBTQ. They claim to be about the environment, but don't even do anything really about it. They don't give a shit about war. He doesn't care about war. He pushes war on MSNBC. What's so great when this happened is this is when Twitter is when people are paying attention. Ryan Grimm, this is an impulse many rich people have. Nervousness that if everyone is able to get the treatment they need, rich people won't have privileged access to the best doctors and specialists, etc. It's as cold-hearted and a calculus as conceivable, but we'll likely see more of it. Yeah. He's so threatened by regular people having health insurance. He doesn't care that 30,000 people die every year because they don't have it. He doesn't care that people are denied coverage. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that 30 million people don't even have insurance. He doesn't care that there's people like Dr. Victoria Dooley explained when I interviewed her why she's such a proponent. She's a family practice doctor that is a proponent of Bernie's Medicare for All plan, because she's like, Graham, every day I have patients who have insurance and I recommend a treatment, an MRI, a surgery or something, and they say, no, I can't afford it because of the out-of-pocket costs. It's unbelievable to me. Here's what else was said. What a bizarre thing to say. Denmark provides healthcare for everyone with much better outcomes than the US, but spends less per person. I don't think we're becoming Denmark, but how exactly would that be a bad thing? It's the other thing. We're going to become Denmark. There was a story put out 10 years ago that Denmark, let's go into it. I went online, I just put in a search engine and I found this. How does Denmark have better health care than the US for less money? This is by a research unit of general practice, University of Southern Denmark. This is great. Forget healthcare policy, it's the culture. This came out in December 2017. He was an American, he goes over there and he's like, how is it? He's been living the thing, and I'll put it in the show notes. He's like, I've been living here several months now. How do they, and he just was like, it's so much better. And yet, look at this. This is the spending. Denmark is red. This is their spending. A little uptick here after the crash. This is ours. Percent of GDP, look at where it is. It's almost twice as much. And the quality, guess, here's a shocker. People are happier in Denmark. The quality of life is better. But this guy doesn't want you to have a better quality of life. He can't stand, these are the rich elite, he can't stand the notion that people actually might be able to rise up to his level. He loves being up on top. And because he doesn't say overtly racist things like Donald Trump, he thinks he's better. He thinks he's so much better than everybody else. No, and I put this out there on Twitter a couple weeks ago during the debates. Anybody who has insurance through their employer really like it? Because here's the other thing too, Bernie's Medicare for All plan, you can go get whatever doctor you want. Whatever health insurance you have now, you have to get an in-network doctor. If you go to an out-of-network doctor, it costs more. And I asked all these people, and one guy said, I work for Apple and my insurance is bad. I know a friend of mine who, his wife has a really good job with really good insurance, and they got 2 kids. He goes, Graham, we have great insurance, and it costs us more every year than it used to. These out-of-pocket costs, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year. Right now, you pay a monthly premium, you pay a deductible, you pay out-of-pocket costs that aren't covered. And this guy wants you to keep doing that. He wants to be better. He wants you to know that he's better than you. He wants to say, I spend all this money on health insurance, but it's worth it. So this study, and then Denmark, where's that talking about? You saw there's like 6 people in the, woo, what? Riding a bike every day helps keep you at a healthy weight. If you ride the bike to work every day, you don't need a car. It's a bike culture. Fewer cars means fewer highways, fewer traffic accidents, and of course, less pollution. Fewer highways presumably means that more tax money is available to build better public transportation, and better public transportation means it's easier for patients to get to the doctor. Road injuries in Denmark, 2,000 or less than 2,000. Well, it's come down in America, so we've made our roads safer, but it's still 4 times more, almost 3.5 times more. But the life expectancy, man, there's no way it's better. Oh, Denmark, foiled again. Life expectancy, look at this. Because why? Kind of similar. Why is it higher? Why is ours leveled off and even gone down? Because life in America has gotten harder. Gee, look at that. Went up a little bit right after, then it started to, Life in America has gotten harder. Suicides have gone up. More people living on the street, or as we talked to Adam Gray, what he calls unhoused, people living in their cars with full-time jobs. Who is Donny Deutsch? I don't know who I don't watch MSNBC because I just can't stomach it. And if you heard him, if I just told you, if you never heard of that guy and I say, oh, he's a Fox News reporter, you'd go, yep, of course he is. He says Republican. Those are things Republicans say. Donny Deutsch is an American television personality who has earned a net worth of $200 million. Donny, you are a pampered, spoiled, don't tell me your dad was a cop. Your dad was a cop? Your dad would want everyone to have health care. What's the threat? 160 million people aren't going to be kicked off of their health insurance. That's a crazy lie. You want to keep paying for health insurance? Or your employer is going to kick you off? Okay, yeah, because your employer is going to go, well, I don't have to spend money on health insurance anymore. You can now get Medicare for all through the government. Employers have more money, theoretically, could pay their employees more. And if you're self-employed like me and you got to use Obamacare, I then wouldn't have to pay that. I'm a small business owner. I don't have any full-time employees, but I hire people here and there to do little projects for me. What if I grow this and I've produced festivals and directed films and TV shows where I had to hire people. What if I had full-time staff? What if I grow this channel and I hire a little full-time staff? I'd like to give them health care to make the jobs better. That's how you attract the best employees, the best talent for your company. You offer good wages, you offer health benefits, retirement. But what if I don't have to deal with that? So now small business owners and big companies as well have more money. People who have Medicare for all don't have to go out of pocket, so they have more money for the economy. Everybody has health insurance. It's good health insurance. Everyone I know on Medicare says it's really good. You can go to whatever doctor you want. That's the thing they keep forgetting to bring that up. $34 trillion. It's more expensive now. So this guy's worth a net worth of $200 million. Actually, he was a chairman of his father, David's. Oh, I thought his dad was a cop. His father, David's advertising company, which he has sold to Interpublic Group companies for $265 million. So your dad's not a cop. He ran an ad agency. Grandfather was a cop? Oh, is that, I keep forgetting. What did he say? Let's go back and listen to what he said. What did he say? Who was the, what was it? What was the, who was what?
These people are smoking crack. You know, forget about not even being able to pay for $34 trillion. My grandfather was a cop, okay, and my mother was a school teacher, and they worked really hard to put me in a position where I can buy the kind of insurance I want. And if I can't, or the people on this panel, I can't buy it for my children, we are going backwards. We're fucking Denmark, okay?
But remember, the problem wasn't that you couldn't buy insurance, it's that you could buy insurance and still end up broke when you needed it at the end. I mean, the insurance had too many loopholes, so you get the government in to help that. And then we might be seen as a way to help more.
Yeah, and this is that panel. If you watch the longer discussion, it's all about we need more centrism to beat Trump. We need more of the thing that Hillary ran with and lost on. The reason she lost. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I watch sports, right? So the World Series is playing right now. Every year in the World Series, you know, if some team dominates, we have really good middle relief or really good whatever, then the other teams go, we need to get that. Same thing in the NFL, any sport, you know. Kawhi Leonard won an NBA title last year, so the Clippers go, we need Kawhi Leonard. You know, whoever lost last year went, oh, we need more whatever. In any sport, the team that lost, teams that didn't win or didn't make the playoffs go, what do we got to do to get up there? Because the winning teams do this. In the NFL, the winning teams run this kind of offense. They spend this money on receivers, and defense, and we got to do that. The Democratic Party, no, we should do the thing that made us lost. Remember the thing that we lost on last year? We should do that. We're an NBA team, and we lost because we didn't have anyone that could hit any three-point shooters. Should we get some three-point shooters in the offseason? Nope. Those guys throwing up bricks, let's blame Russia. Unbelievable. So his grandfather was a cop. His dad, he's a rich kid. He's not the son of a cop. His grandfather was a cop. My grandfather was a butcher. All of our grandparents in this country, the most of them were immigrants and worked hard. All of our grandparents had jobs, Donnie. So what? You didn't grow up in the house of a cop who worked his ass off every day and probably had to arrest people that were poor and didn't have insurance. Your grandfather, you didn't know your grandfather. You saw him after probably he was older and retired. You didn't live with a grandfather. You lived with the man who owned an advertising company that you sold for $265 million. You were chairman of your daddy's company. So you didn't work for that. Your daddy gave you the job, your CEO. My dad was not the chairman of a fucking big company. If he would have, I would have a better job. My dad was a college theater professor, which is why I'm a performer. An ad agency. Why would someone with an ad agency be so pro-healthcare lobby? Why would he care so much about protecting the health insurance company? Oh, whoops. They are expected to spend $36 billion in advertising this year. This is what they spent. This was August of 19 this came out because they averaged what between 2013 and 2018 ad spending on U.S. healthcare and U.S. grew at an average of 6% a year. And it'll grow this year because Med for All, they got to stop. That's why during the debates when Bernie lays out his plan, companies say, oh, Bernie's going to kick people off the streets. You're full of shit, Donnie. You're a bold-faced liar because one of the reasons why you are one of the 1%, you're absurdly wealthy. Don't tell me your grandfather was my grandfather was a cop. Don't talk all blue collar, you rich kid. Your dad put you as the chairman of the board. You're just like Trump, whose daddy gave him $1 million. Don't give me this working class, I earn the right to buy my family the kind of insurance they want. Shut up. Have you talked to anybody whose child died because they didn't have insurance? I want you to talk to those people, Donnie. I want you to talk and tell them your story in your $2,000 suit. Sit there and tell them you sold an ad agency for $265 million and they should shut up with their lefty populist nonsense because you don't like Donald Trump. Because when Obama was bombing the Middle East, you had no problem with it. You didn't care. He passed gay marriage, so he was the best president you've ever seen in your lifetime. You didn't care that 5.2 million people lost their homes to foreclosure because you were not even getting close to losing your home because you're part of the ruling class. You did not care. When he sat there and Flint, Michigan, that's a poor community, has dirty, clean water. Donnie, do you have dirty water? If you had contaminated water in your Upper East Side, Manhattan, wherever you live, whatever $1 million mansion, gated community, or high-rise in Manhattan that you live in, if you had contaminated water there, it would be contaminated for like a week, tops, before you and every other whiny rich kid got it fixed. Why don't you go to Flint, Michigan, Donnie? I'd like to see you go to Flint, Michigan. Yeah. You want to meet face-to-face, friend? I'm a lefty, anti-war progressive, and I'm a vegetarian, and I study martial arts, and I'll kick your elitist neoliberal ass, and you're going to need insurance. I'm so sick of you ruling class punks. You're such shit-talking bitches. You've never worked a day in your life, Donnie. Your daddy put you on the chair. Don't tell me about your cop grandfather. I had uncles that fought in World War II. Guess what? That's called being an American. We all have families who worked. You don't know anybody that works today. Going on MSNBC with your $3,000 suits and your $500 glasses and your $200 haircut. This haircut cost $20. This shirt was given to me because I did a spot on this is like a public radio station in New Orleans when Ron Placone and I did a show there. You gutless punk. You rich kid. You spoiled little rich kid punk. Why don't you go work a day in your life before you tell me I should have to pay for insurance? I'm sick of paying for insurance. It sucks. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Go to patreon.com because my didn't put me as the chairman of a board. I'm not a spoiled little candy ass like Donny is. So I actually have to do this thing called, I got to work for a living. I need Patreon supporters. Go to patreon.com/ because Pfizer, they don't support this show. Aetna, they don't support this show. Right? Blue Cross doesn't buy a lot of ad time on a Medicare for all, anti-war, lefty progressive show. Like, share, subscribe, and tell Donny he's a spoiled little rich kid who's never worked a day in his life, and he doesn't care if you've lost somebody because you didn't have health insurance. I met Amy Valea. She came to Ron and I's show. She was running in Nevada. She came to our show again in San Antonio, Texas. Her daughter died because she was denied health care because she didn't have health insurance. I want you to say that crybaby rich kid story to her. I want to be there for that. I want to see you say that, Donny. I want to see you talk to somebody and say that. You sicken me. The ruling class sickens me, and Bill Maher is part of it. The people on that panel, I mean, Zach Galifianakis is fighting gerrymandering, and he pointed out that both parties are good. That's good. I know Zach. I'm glad he's doing that. But I'm so sick to death of people worth hundreds of millions and billions of dollars telling me I should shut up because I have a purity test of wanting to have health care like all of these countries have had for decades in the Western Europe. Denmark's quality of life is great. You're an idiot. Thanks for watching this show, and don't let the Donny Deutsches and MSNBC and Bill Maher morons ruin this country. They're living high on the hog. They're all in multi-million-dollar mansions. They don't give a shit about the 99%. They don't care at all. As long as some neoliberal like Liz Warren or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton protects their wealth, they'll pat themselves on the back as they, cover their $200,000 car in a rainbow flag. That's who the neoliberal Hollywood elite is. They're assholes. Thanks for watching.